Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You are tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Audible, Amazon Music, Podchasers, Giovanni, iTunes, TuneIn, Tiki Live, Rumble, and more. I'm Dr. Marissa, your hashtag positively opinionated host who is on a happy 88 mission, 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. Why? Because life is too short to be angry, bitter, despondent, anxious, fearful. And yes, I know there's so many reasons to be that way. All you need to do is start your day pressing buttons and getting sucked into the morass of I don't think I've ever used that word before, of negative news and all the things that are wrong with people and wrong with the world. And yes, they exist, but you know what? You don't have to stay there. So that's why I have this show. I'm so grateful. We passed our 9-year mark. We are on show number 716, and I am proof that good news can sell, good news can be attended to, and I'm so glad that you're with me. If you're eyeballing me right now, which I see on the screen, please do say hello on the comment section, interact with me. Today we have a great question. It is caller, commercial, and compliments day. So we're going to do all of those things. And the question of the day today is, what gets in the way of your success? What gets in the way of your success? So I had someone who was going to come on, and we had a little time difference issue. Not issue, but it just meant that I got to get Sam to step in and be my victim. I mean, volunteer. He definitely is a part of my crew because he likes that applause button. So he's going to be my partner in crime today and actually be open. I told him he could use someone else's name, but he wants to get personal and answer that question for himself. So you're going to see and hear a live coaching session. This is something I get to do as an executive coach, as a happiness coach, as a life coach. So we're going to do that live for you after we start the program the way we always do, to start your day in the most positive way. And Sam has been wonderful in indulging me as my gratitude partner as we feast on my gratitude sandwich first thing in the morning, 88% of the time. And that is taking a bite of 8 specific gratitudes that you have the muscle to strengthen and to choose instead of talking about what's wrong. So here we go. I'll start this morning and I will say I am grateful for ice and Tylenol because I had a fight with the curb. I was in a hurry and I shouldn't have been. And I'm not going to shit on myself, but I tripped up a curb and broke 2 toes, which is not fun for those of you who've broken toes. I've broken toes before, but it's been a pinky. These are the the second and the third. So I'm grateful that there's relief and that everything's going to be okay. What are you grateful for? Wonderful. I'm grateful that I have cherries in my fridge that I'm going to take on my road trip up the coast of California to my third gratitude. I'll do it now. My youngest daughter is graduating from UC Davis with a double major in psychology and Chinese with honors. She got a commendation from the psychology department, exceptional performance, and that is on Saturday morning. So I'm so grateful. I was hoping you'd be ready for that button. You have no idea. You can tell where she goes. UC Davis. That's their wallpaper. And I'm just, you have no idea how happy I am. All right, Sam, you get to do 2.
I'm grateful that I still have my legs, and I'm also grateful for the full support of my team for my roasting.
Wonderful. So there's your 8 gratitudes. Hopefully you've done your 4 and 4 with your partner or whoever's there. And if not, you get to do all 8. If you're by yourself and not driving, you can type them down. I have a listener who messaged me and said that every day now she has 8 gratitudes in her notes. And that makes me very happy. And she definitely notices a difference in her day because of that, starting the day that way. And then ending your day with 8 appreciations for yourself. 8 things that you like about yourself. Again, something that we don't do automatically. We don't do it. We don't learn how to do it in school. Self-approval is sort of, too selfish and self-centered, and you don't want to be all that. And who do you think you are? And don't blow your own horn. Don't toot it. Don't do anything to it. And as a result, we have a generation, or I should say 3 generations of people who go out and have these little antenna going, who likes me? Who approves of me? Who says that I'm a good person? How many likes am I getting? Literally. And it's leading to some horrific results, people committing suicide because of all the hate feedback they get, or, just horrific things. So let's exercise our own ability to self-soothe and self-care and think that we are 88% hot shiitake. Actually, we're not hot shiitake. We're not a piece of shiitake. We're just pretty good shiitake. So that's what this bottom of the bun exercise is for. And I'll start again. I appreciate that I am a trooper. So when things hurt, I just go. Sam, what do you appreciate about yourself?
The gain of motivation I have every day to keep growing.
Great. I appreciate that I'm funny, even though my husband said I was not funny almost every day. Best thing about divorce is I get to own my funny. Go ahead, Sam.
I appreciate myself is how much I care for the world and myself.
Beautiful. And let's see. I think we're on number 3 or 4. Maybe is this 4? Okay. I appreciate that I was an 88% great mom. And
I appreciate how much how much I sacrifice for other people.
okay. And we'll move on to compliments. Is there someone who might be listening, or you can play this afterwards for? And again, please do put your compliment for someone in the comment section, and I'll put it up on the screen if you're listening, as long as you're not driving. And I'm going to start. My compliment is for my youngest daughter, Sarah Way Carpenter. She did. I did not. I know I'm I could be a tiger. I'm a recovering tiger mom. How's that? And she took on a double major without me saying anything. And she, rose up to the occasion and did a thesis that she didn't have to. and got that commendation. So I am paying my daughter, Sarah, Wei, and Wei is Mandarin for peace, a forever compliment that it is my honor and my joy to have had her and continue to have her as a daughter. She makes me so proud. And tears are the disinfectant that keep your heart soft. So I'm not apologizing for my tears. And who do you compliment, Sam?
I compliment my oldest brother for how much of a trooper he is, because he goes with me through all my business adventures, even though he's out of the business, and supports me in every way. So.
Aw, that's wonderful. So your Happy 88 challenge for the day, folks, is to go and find a family member, since that seems to be the theme for that we started, Sam, and give them a compliment today. If you're not close in person, obviously is the best. And if you can do it, don't wait for their reaction. You can do a drive-by compliment. And if you aren't close to them physically, then you can send a text or an email or a phone call, an old-fashioned phone call to thank them for something that they are in your life. And can you imagine, Sam, what life would be like, what the world would be like if every single person every morning turned and complimented someone? Wouldn't that be amazing? It would be so beautiful. And I know that we could move towards both peace on earth and humankind, emphasis on the kind, if we did that. So just something to think about today. All right. And commercial. So do you have a commercial that you would like to offer up? And if you can't think of one, I'm going to give you one, which is your show. But you don't have to do that. But whatever commercial you want to give, Sam, how can people support you?
Well, you guys can follow me on my Instagram on KCK, whatever works.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or
on Facebook and all the other social media. I'll just get on Spotify, just like Dr. Marissa here. Just look up KCK, whatever works, and tune in, listen in, and be friendly.
great. And the show is on Sundays?
Yeah, Sundays at 7.
Fabulous. And my commercial is, I've got 1,000 of them. I'm going to do my nonprofit this morning. So if you want to support my work in working with kids, teens, and young adults who, let's see, a call's coming in. If you want to support a nonprofit 501c called 8 Ways to Happiness that helps kids, teens, and young adults who have temporarily forgotten their birthright to happiness with books and programs, then when you shop on Amazon, go to Smile Amazon and just put 8 Ways to Happiness in the search bar, and you will be supporting that every time you shop on Amazon. And you'll force Amazon to give a little bit. So hopefully, I know that you shop on Amazon. Hopefully, if you don't have a designated nonprofit, you'll do that for me today. So there's the commercial. If you have a commercial, please do put it in the chat and I'll put it up here because that's what Thursdays are about. And we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to answer the question of the day, which is, how can we how do we get in the way of our own success, and how can we get past that? So, I'm actually going to do a live coaching session towards that question with my fabulous sound engineer, Sam, who you just heard has his own show. And we'll do that in 2 and 2 when we come back. Oh, I'm channeling Chuck Woolery there. If you remember that, Sam, you won't. You're too young. But we'll be back in 2 and 2 here on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KZAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. your relationships drive you crazy? Hi, I'm Dr. Marissa. You know me as the Asian Oprah and your morning host of your 8 a.m. drive time show. Take my advice, I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show. And I'm here with your mental health minute because I want you to be as happy as possible, 88% happy, in fact, because you can't be 100% happy. Otherwise, you're dead. And I don't want dead people walking or talking, but I want you 88% happy because it is the majority of the time. One of the things that definitely makes you unhappy are relationships that drive you crazy. And if that relationship is with your significant other, I would like to offer up a Happy 88 tool from my best-selling book, 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are. And it says, when you feel yourself frustrated, take a deep breath in and step away from the device. Sometimes the best thing you can do is not do anything. You can always say, right now, I don't want to say something I might regret, so I'm going to walk away and come back when I'm in a better mood. I promise you that will also keep you from saying something that you may have to apologize for later. Hopefully you'll find that tool useful. This is Dr. Marissa with your Mental Health Minute.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome back. You're tuned into Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, and my YouTube channel, where if you free subscribe, you can get access to all 716 shows, as well as my red carpet playlist, which features the latest from Saturday night. I got to interview the Temptations. I'm still like, was it just my imagination? Because I'm still pinching myself that I got to interview them. And I'm excited to tell you that I'm going to be having Otis Williams, the founder of Temptations' grandson, Trace Austin, as a guest on the show. We are setting it up right now. Tentatively, it is next Friday, but you tune in every weekday morning. So it doesn't matter to you, right? But he is coming on the show. Very excited about that. He's a beautiful young man, 18 years young, and is a perfect mate. When I had Jafar Jackson on, who's Michael Jackson's nephew. So I'm having legacy musicians coming on this show because that's just what happens in life. The more I say I love my life, the more reasons I have to love my life. So that is coming up. You can also get my interviews with Halle Berry and John Travolta. And I did interview him before he messed up that name at the Oscars. So, but he does stumble a little. It's really interesting what a thinker he is. So you can get that on my YouTube channel. But today we are answering the question of the day because it's caller compliments and commercial day. And thank you for joining me. I did forget to give a compliment, Sam, because, so I forget. And I really do need to, I'm shitting on myself again. I choose to thank and appreciate all the guys, and they are all guys at KCAA, in my KCAA family, who support me so much, from Joe Pagano, and you're going to have to help me with the names because you're in studio physically more than I am. See how I do. My two wonderful sound engineers, Sam, who you're going to hear from in a minute, and Polly, my station manager, Mark Westwood, as well as Miguel in the back, and my station owner, Fred Lundgren. Who did I forget? Eric. That's, I don't know it. Sorry, Eric. It's because I don't email him. So that's why. So Eric, and then Rick in the morning does the automations in the back, and all of my fellow hosts. Stephanie Miller does a bang up continued job on our station. I'm so grateful that I get to follow her. And if you are here because you listen to Stephanie Miller, welcome, welcome. And I am so grateful that since my promotion during COVID from a once a week show to a daily forking weekday morning. I don't know, when Fred said, would you like to do the morning show? I'm like, sure, yes, that sounds great. And then I didn't quite make the connection between going from a once a week show to 5 days. But I'm so delighted. I'm grateful. And I continue. In fact, June 7th, I believe, is 1 year every weekday morning. So we're going to have to do something on that day, because I can't believe a year's gone by where I do 5 days a week. But I'm grateful, and I thank all of my guys at KCAA for that. And here comes the applause. Fabulous, Sam. Thank you. All right. Now, we're talking about what gets in the way of our success. And as an executive coach, I get to work with everything from director or manager level up the C-suite level. And I get called in because leaders are not as effective as they could be. Some of them are in trouble because even though they meet their productivity and sales, even though they have done years of great performance, they either start or finally are being called on the carpet, literally, for, and not the red carpet, being called on bad behavior. And bad behavior looks like coming in late all the time, not coming in at all, yelling at people, shaking fingers in people's faces, spitting on people, being abrupt with people, harassing people, saying inappropriate things to people. And these are very high, performers that make a lot of money, or their performance falls off, or, there's really high turnover in their group, and people, they go to that program, what do you do when you hate your boss, or working with a difficult boss? So I get called in as an organizational psychologist to coach these leaders. And I have found that there are two main reasons that people get in trouble and get in the way of their own success. And the two things are, one, unrealistic expectations of others, and two, unrealistic expectations of oneself. So that's the overarching lecture, so to speak, or the overarching theme that I'm going to now turn and see what's going on with Sam and give him some feedback, live coaching feedback, as I would. He's a business owner. He has an enterprise called His Show. And so if you're an entrepreneur, you might want to put yourself in Sam's shoes. And then I will finish the coaching with some practical ways in which you can get out of the way of your own success. All right. Does that sound interesting enough? I see more eyeballs. Please feel free to put your name in the chat and participate in this. And let's have a go. So, Sam, welcome to the chair of volunteer for a Dr. Marissa coaching session. So tell me what you think gets in the way of your success. And let's back up one step. And this is what I do with my clients is, what would you define as success for you? So it's always important to understand what you're working towards, right? Got to be clear. How would you define success?
So how I would define success is being financially stable, comfortable, and free, and being able to help my family and my friends and everyone else around the world. Just to get them up on that pedestal. Because no one likes being at the bottom, no one likes struggling. But I know, like, no matter where you're at, like, you're always going to be struggling. But this seems to me like money is just like one of the biggest things for everybody.
Okay. How much money?
Well, I don't really have a specific number because I don't really define myself in terms of like how much money I have. It's just being able to do things for myself. So it's cool.
Okay. So enough money to be free to do what you want. Is that about accurate?
Pretty much. And to help others, because that's the biggest thing. Like, if someone is self-successful, but everyone else around them isn't, then who do you share your success with, you know?
Yeah.
But I think it's very important to bring the people around you up with you rather than just.
Right. So you have a dual, well, it's related. They're cousins. So you want success to you is enough money to be able to do what you want to do. And one of the big things that you want to do is to be able to help others. Yep. Is that about accurate?
I want to inspire
Inspire other people.
I want to get to the point in life where everyone's like, wow, like, he really did it. And then for me to, like, put out my hand and help them come up and show them my way, you know?
Okay. Do you know anyone in the world that is doing that now that you would want to aspire to?
Everyone around me, to be honest.
Okay.
And I'm not going to lie, a lot of people, they tell me all the time, like they're actually waiting to see how great I can be, you know?
Okay.
Because, I mean, like, I'm a pretty boy and this and that, and I got a lot of stuff for my life. But I'm also young, so I don't have everything established yet. And everyone's just kind of like sitting back and just waiting to see how great I can be.
All right. And have you ever felt already that you are successful?
Yeah.
Okay. And give me an example of that moment.
Honestly, just almost the everyday living, you know, like having my own show, being on the radio, having my real estate license, living on my own, not my parents at the age. But there's a lot to look up to and like see that I am successful and live past them. But I'm proud but not satisfied.
Okay. So why are you not satisfied?
Because I have a plan. Now it's not detailed, and I told myself and God that I would write it down to the T of what I want to see myself in and manifest, but I haven't got a chance to sit down and really.
Well, let's do that now. We won't do it fully, but this is a great time to do it because we're talking about your goals and your vision for yourself. So just off the let's get in the frame of mind to do that. Take a deep breath in through your nose and release. Soft shoulders, soft elbows, soft knees, activating the body. And another deep breath in and release, releasing all the stories and the drama, activating the mind. And one more deep breath in. Connecting with me through Chi eternal energy, the breath of life, and release, activating the spirit or the soul where the body meets the spirit. And then when you're ready, come back to the room, open your eyes. All right. Now you are connected to the energy that creates the world. So it's unlimited inspiration. So ask that question again of what you have not yet started, but someone asked you to do.
Well, something that I'm trying to work on, but I have my list of questions. I haven't sold a house yet.
Okay.
It's more mindful.
Okay. So you want to sell your first house, and then you want to sell many more after that, right? Okay. And what do you think are the let's go with qualities. What kind of person is successful at selling a house? What are some of the traits or qualities that a person has to be able to sell a house?
I would say hard work and dedication.
Okay. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how hardworking would you rate yourself?
I would give myself truthfully like 7.5 to an 8.
Okay. And the second quality was
Dedication.
dedication. Scale of 1 to 10?
I'm pretty dedicated. I'm gonna say a
9?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And the third one?
Just
And what on a scale of 1 to 10?
probably like a 4 or 5.
Okay.
Kind of where I'm lacking.
Okay. There we go. Did you see how we got to that? So, consistency is something that gets in the way of your success. So, dedication, you're no problems. 9 is I'm looking for an 8. I never look for 100 because it's impossible because we're human, right? So I want, first of all, to give credit and approve of and appreciate of yourself for having that high level of dedication. Did you give it to yourself?
I did know that.
Good. And then on the hardworking, you are 7.5. Okay. So you're almost at the 8. So you get a half pat on your back.
Can I tell you why it's 7.5?
Yes.
Because if I was just focused on the one thing, let's just say it was real estate, then that would increase my number. But with me, I'm pretty overwhelmed, especially at my age, and I think I don't have enough concentration in one specific category in order to get me hired.
Got it. So it's that, what is that? Jack of all trades, master of none, whatever that is. I get told that all the time because I have 5 businesses. So, but I have a tool for you on that. So we'll let's start with that. All right. So I think I have what I need now. Actually, give me some examples of how you are not consistent.
Well, I mean, I'm no robot, right? So it's not like I wake up every morning at 6 a.m. and have breakfast at 8 a.m. Like there's times I just have to be, I've been kind of down lately. Today, I just like super tired, and so like this mood kind of drops out. And we're all humans, but we all go through like emotional stages in life, and discipline really helps. But that's good seeing the rhythmy days where you just don't have time or you don't want to do it. Be consistent.
Yep, absolutely. All right. So here we go. Here's some prescriptions for you that have no side effects. It's not a pill. All right. So first of all is Sam, I want you to really comfort and be your number one fan. Because remember, I said at the top of the session, the two things that usually are barriers to success for my clients is one, unrealistic expectation of others and unrealistic expectations of yourself. So yours falls in the second category because you are a little harder on yourself than you need to be. That's not saying that you don't want to up your numbers in consistency. And that doesn't mean that you don't want to up your numbers in, what was that first category? Hardworking. All right. But whenever, especially because you're young, you're how old? How young are you? 22? 22. Okay. So you're young. And for you to have the expectations that you do of yourself at 22, I don't want you to spend the rest of your 60 years being my average client that comes in has gone through life wanting more and not ever feeling like they have enough. So I would offer up that success, and that you've already admitted you have some success and you have success every day, is to use that as a motivator. So my definition of success, I have two of them. One is Ralph Waldo Emerson's definition, which is to laugh often and much, to know that one life has breathed easier because you have lived. So I think that would apply to your vision of success as well. And then the second part of that is, do I have what I want, and do I want what I have? Do I have what I want and want what I have? And this, I would say, you do really well in, getting to know you through doing the gratitude exercise. And this is for all those out there who are not happy with where they are. And I will point out, when you were talking about enough funds and money, that I will point to Kate Spade and Anthony Bourdain and Robin Williams, that if you are chasing a goal of so much money, here's the issue, is that one, it's never enough, and that number changes. And so if you can't stop and say, for now, I am successful and I have enough. So I would, what's the word? I would shift the focus on money to a focus on, am I being fully present and utilized where I am in this moment? Now, for you, if I take the mean or the average between the 4 that you said in the consistency and the 7.5, there are some things that you could do differently to improve that. But my first suggestion, my first prescription, is to be cognizant that it's a moving mark, that if you spend the rest of your life not feeling like you've got it, because what happens, Sam, in 10 years when you've sold 100 homes, but you wanted to sell 200 homes? It's not enough.
I would say, real estate is like part of the strategy, but it's not the goal.
Good. That's my point.
The goal for me is, when I die, my family take care of it.
Okay. All right.
That's my goal.
Got it. So on the consistency, what are some things that you do that you shouldn't do, or vice versa?
That's too funny.
Why?
Because this whole year, I've been battling my spirit with my flesh.
Beautiful. Thank you for those examples. One, I've always wanted to be a procrastinator, but I never got around to it. But we don't have a symbol in this sound thing. But first of all, you're not alone. You know, you're human. But what you're going through is the thing that I call the perfectionist slide. It starts with perfectionism, and it goes into procrastination, and then it ends in paralysis. So if you can't do all that you need to do, you start sliding down and you get to the point where you don't do anything at all. That's what you just described to me. So that's a very common thing. So how do you get out of that? Here's another prescription. Stop trying to do everything perfectly, but make sure you do something 15 minutes at a time. So if, especially with you, you have you have at least 3, 4, or 5 things going on at the same time. And that does require some focus, and it does require some organization. It does require some discipline. But if you write everything down, you're going to be overwhelmed. But it would be good for you to make a bucket. So you have a chart, and you have the show on one column, you have the real estate on another column, you have your social life on another column, and you have your family life in another column, you have and then, separate the buckets. And then you know that you need to apply a certain amount of time and effort to those buckets. And if you find yourself being distracted, let's say you play 80% of the time and you work 12% of the time, then you know there's an imbalance. Yeah? Does that make sense? So if you reward yourself with, whatever it is, mine is Candy Crush. So there's things that I have to do for my show that I don't necessarily like to do, like get sponsors. Or there's things that I have to do with my motivational speaking practice, like sell, which I don't like to do. And so those main things that I have to do, I put on the column. And when I do something that I don't like to do, I reward myself with something that I like. Does that make sense? Okay. So that way you have also a way to reward yourself. And you also have a way to measure, have I done 88% of what's required in that column? If the answer is yes, you get a star, because you can't possibly complete all of everything perfectly. At the same time, the realistic expectation is, because I have more than one column of work, that I have to ask the question, is this going to help me with what I want to do in my definition of success? So is this smoking going to help me or hurt what my ultimate vision is, which is to have enough money? How did you word it? To be able to make my friends and family comfortable, right? Is this good? And you ask that question, is this activity going to help or hurt? Now, I'm not going to say to you, if it's going to hurt it, get rid of it, because we cannot be free of all vices, right? 12% of the time, you are allowed to goof off. 12% of the time, you don't have to do what you need to do. But 88% of the time, you do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I definitely believe in talent.
Yeah. So your ability to recognize your humanness and cut yourself some slack, that is a key skill. Now, don't cut yourself too much slack. So that's what, how I always say it's all about balance, peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. That's why I say balance. We are such an all or nothing society, which leads us all to either procrastination or paralysis. So if I know that I am overdoing it, I don't go to do nothing at all, right? But a lot of people do. I can't handle this. I'm not going to do it at all. So we haven't worked that muscle of, is this column working 88% of the time? If it's not working, then I want to change it. But 88% of the time, I use this in my relationships. Is this relationship working 88% of the time? Is this a helpful relationship 88% of the time? If it's no, it's time for a new relationship. So you can apply that. As you mentioned, and I'm glad you said that, real estate is just one avenue for you. If you apply a certain amount of time and it's not working, then that doesn't mean you're a failure. It means that there's another avenue with which you can create money energy. And money is never the goal. In my mind, money is just something that is an exchange of energy. So it is my goal to laugh often and much. It is my goal to use this life to express my unique talents, gifts, and abilities. That's my life success goal. So when something doesn't work out, like whatever avenue it is, during COVID, motivational speaking was not on the docket, right? Does that mean that I'm no longer successful? Absolutely not. I got to make a short film that I never thought I was going to be a filmmaker. So our ability in life to be successful has nothing to do with the label of what we are doing. Success is, are we fully expressed in the best possible way, 88% of the time, in whatever inspired avenue that comes through. And, I have to say, the COVID definitely helped some people understand that more than they ever have. What do you mean? I don't have to do that for work? There's other things that I could be doing in my life that make me happy, that also bring me money energy. So I'm really glad that you already understand that the real estate is a strategy. Not saying that I think you would be great at it. You have the personality for it. You have the qualities and the skills for it. I would just look at, is it working? Right? I always give things 8 months. So you can't start something and then, well, you can, but you're going to shoot yourself in the foot if you start something and in a month, if you're not getting the clients or whatever, you're not selling, you get impatient and you pull out the little growing plant and yell at the roots. Why are you not growing? You're going to kill the plant. So I say that our jobs are as farmers. We plant seeds, and we can plant seeds in many things and see what grows. Does that make sense? Awesome. Go ahead. Go ahead.
With Lovestreaming, one of the things that I like about it is because of the knowledge and education of Lovestreaming. I know that's very important in today's society, and also meeting people that I would probably never meet in my life, and just having conversation with them. Because I'm a very social person.
No, really? Just like I'm shy. Sarcasm is another service I offer.
So, like, real estate isn't about me, not only about being successful, like making all the money from my home, but literally just living my everyday life and socializing with people and like telling my story or like inspiring people or like listening to their stories and being inspired,
Yeah.
Because it all comes back around, and that's one of the big reasons why I do real estate. Just that.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I'm saying it's definitely something you should try, and you are. But I would, to help you with your the number 4, is take a good afternoon and just write those columns, and then put the main things that need to happen that are up to you. The result is up to others, because you can be as really consistent and reliable. And if the market's not there, the market's not there. Right now, the market is there. So the time for you to put your efforts into this, it's perfect timing. I use this model when people say, what should I be doing? There's 3 circles. One is what you're good at. So are you clear on what you're good at? The second circle is what you like to do, what your heart's desire, right? Now, Oprah, she has the money to support any heart's desire. If you don't have a lot of money energy to support, you're going to have to, if you're 50 years old and you want to be an NFL quarterback and win the Super Bowl, unrealistic maybe. Although look at Kurt Warner. So that's the second one. Where does that intersect? What I'm good at and what I want to do. And then third is, what does the market show? So, if you want to make timepieces that are not I watch, then there are some things that the time is not here. So those 3 questions will also help you answer, what do I do? That was just a little aside, but we're running out of time. Sam, how do you feel right now about your ability to get out of the way of your own success?
Get out of the way?
Yes. Are you clear about what to do?
You know what? I am 88% clear what to do.
Good. Has this been helpful?
Definitely. I'm gonna rewatch this show because there's some things that you said that were, I think, on point. So I'm thinking up on that.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for helping me practice on you. And hopefully, listeners, you could put yourself in Sam's position. He said some things that almost every person I know as a coach and as a human being goes through. So give yourself a break. You are loving, lovable, loved, one of a kind, wonderful, no throwback in the bunch, and wrapped in a warm blanket of worthiness. And your only job is to fully express in this thing called life. I'm Dr. Marissa, and we're out of time. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back. Tomorrow I'm replaying a wonderful interview because you have till Sunday to see me do a Harry Met Sally moment in Breastival. So visionsofpossibilities.org. I'll see you on Monday. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live from my living room. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace.